Hello everyone, welcome to this new tutorial where I'm going to show you how to make this pop-up spider. This pop-up spider, it's a bit aggressive, it's really big, as you can see, compared to the card. Really stands out. And its legs fold out in a natural way, so it animates also. And I'm really happy with how this came out, and today I'm going to show you how you can make this yourself. I've also made a combination of 3 spiders, which was a bit tricky. Which looks like this. I think it came out really nice, but the legs really want to collide, so as you can see, it needs a little help. So there's some room for improvement, but there's also some stuff you can do, like shorten the legs and adjust some positions. But this one is still not finished, but I'm working on it. So there you have that. Let me close it correctly. So okay, but for this one we're going to make just one, which is maybe hard enough because it has some really tiny pieces. What I have here is a template file that you can print out yourself. The link is in my video description. And this is the base plate. It has some tips on it, the tools you need, which we'll discuss later, and the parts like the legs, the platform and the body. We're going to use 80 lb weight paper and a bit stronger paper for an extra double cover. So I also have this on the side. So basically you'll need 2 sheets of 80 lb paper and a bit heavier cover paper, and you're good to go. Don't use too heavy paper because otherwise it will be too bulky to make the spider. And I can show you there's this part here where all the joints and the glue tabs come together, and if this is really thick heavy paper, it will get bulky. So you can decide your own which type of paper you prefer, but that's my advice. So now let's talk about what we're going to use. I have double-sided tape. You can use glue if you like. I have an X-Acto knife, a hobby knife. I'm using scissors for tape, for cutting small pieces of tape, not to cut the paper because this is way too detailed to use scissors for. This is also not a tutorial for kids. A ruler for scoring and cutting. I have a geometrical triangle, which I'm going to use. A scoring pen with the blunt tip. And you can use a dining knife or anything else with a blunt tip. Empty pen maybe. And I have a folding bone, which I normally not use very much in tutorials, but for this one we really need to make tight folds for the glue tabs to make it work good. So anyway, those are the tools we're going to use. And let's get started right away. And the first step that you'll need to do is to score the lines. Those are the dotted lines on the template file. And it's also important that when you put your ruler exactly on the line, let me show that up close. When you put it exactly on the line, your scoring tool will go just aside this line. So to have a nice position of the scoring tool, you need to put your ruler just a bit away from the line. Anyway, let's get started with the base page. There's the first score. Now for this one you can start right here and go all the way down because all these pieces are aligned. I'm going to do that. So I'm first going to position my ruler very carefully and draw one line. And this just goes all the way from here down to here. Okay. Now I'm going to use this triangle For the smaller pieces, like these glue tabs here, like so. And for all these glue tabs, as you can see, those are very small. It's really important to work precise, because when any of these lines is a little bit off, it's going to be much harder to make this work. It may seem like this is one straight line, but it's not. This is number 3. So make sure to give it a little bit of an angle. Just follow the dotted lines. The same goes for 4. I have numbered pieces, and you can use that as a reference to make this. Almost there. Alright, now we have scored all the lines. It's hard to see, but it's there. Alright, now next step is to cut this all out. And I've prepared that because it would take a lot of time to do a video. So let me get that here. Those are all the parts cut out. I just haven't folded them yet because we're going to do that together. I'll lay those down here. Alright. So those parts are numbered, and as you can see on the template file, you can use this illustration as a reference. But also all these glue tabs have different shapes. And you can use these shapes as a reference here also. So there's not much that can go wrong. What I've also prepared are little pieces of tape, because it takes a lot of time to cut these off. So I'm going to use those. And let's start with the first step. And that's folding this platform piece. And you need to fold these inwards. Those are going to be the glue tabs that we need to slot through here. This one is a valley. This is a mountain. And this is also a mountain. I'm going to use my folding bone every time I make folds. I also make sure that those pieces align when I fold it close. So this is wrong, this is right. And I just push firmly on the fold. Do the same with this side here. And these flaps also. Alright, we've got this prepared. We're also going to glue that in here. So let's do that. Taking some tape. Cut it in half. And putting glue on the top side of the glue tab. Because when we put it through the slots, I want this piece to be as flat as possible. I'm being very careful to not damage anything. Alright. I also make sure there's tape all over all over the glue tab. Alright, so let's fold this first. Nice sharp fold, which make the card also work better. There you go. Okay, this is how we're going to position it. So I'm first going to put this one through here. As you can see, those are numbered. Number 1 is this piece, number 1. That makes sense, I think. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to position it very carefully. Make sure this folding line aligns with the center fold. That's the most important part of this step. So it will look something like this. Now the base mechanism for this pop-up of the spider is like a part of a pyramid, and I'll explain that better by showing you a pyramid. As you can see, this is a pop-up pyramid which also uses a V-fold, sort of, not really, because it has a center fold too. So that's what I've used to make the spider, and I've cut away everything I don't need it. I didn't need, and that's the base structure of this whole pop-up. Alright, step number 1 is to make the body, which we're going to do now. Fold this over. These flaps also fold in, like so. These fold in. I'm going to use my folding bone again. Make these really sharp folds. Alright, now let's get some tape. Let me see, I will use this piece. I'm going to make sure that as much as possible of this glue tab is covered in tape, because they're already really small. It's a bit of a tedious job to do, especially on camera, but we'll get there. Alright, there's tape on there. I close it. Now they are connected. This part needs tape on these sides. I'm going to do that. Alright. Now there's tape on these sides. Now next we're going to need the back legs. That's number 5. Let me get the illustration again. We're going to attach number 7 to number 5. Number 7 to number 5. Anyway, let's get number 5, which is this one with the long tabs. This one goes in. These go out. Like this. Sharp folds. And now I'm going to connect this to there. And it's really straightforward. The shape of this glue tab, this is double-sided. So we're going to first stick this side on here. I'm going to align it right there. And throughout this whole build, it's important that, let me get it up close. This point always is aligned in the exact center of the fold. So that looks good. I'm going to close it shut. Push it firmly. And there's the body with legs on the back. Okay, now I'm going to put tape on these tabs. Let me cut some off for that. And I'm going to work a bit rough and fast, but that's for the video. Of course, when you're doing this yourself, you can take all the time you need. But for now, they should work. Alright, I always start with the body first because it's getting in the way when all the front legs are positioned. So that's why I'm starting there. I'm going to position again, same. It's folded now. This glue tab fits on here. So I'm going to use the print to align the glue tab in position. I'm going to do that flat, like so. Now I'm going to shut the card. Make sure that finds its way. I'm going to push it carefully, not too hard. And as you can see now, it's in position right there. We have something that looks like this. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now we're going to work from back to the front. So let's start with the leg. Let me get the illustration again. Number 4, which is this one. And I have it here. So we are now going to do leg number 4. As you can see, again, the shapes of these glue tabs also show where it belongs. It's going to be folded like this and the tabs folded to the back. So it looks like this. Sharp folds. I'm going to put tape on the tabs. Again, it's a precise work, so also make sure that you're taking your time. Okay, so I try to cover as much as possible, cutting off the excess tape. Looks good. Now I'm going to fold it like this. I've got again tape on both sides. And I can use this to position. I'm holding it like this, I'm sorry. Okay. So the shape of this glue tab, all I need to do is position it on this 4 glue point. I like to start on the right, use the print to align it, make sure this corner is in the center, push it firmly. Now I shut the card, so the other glue tab also finds its way. And that way we're sure it also closes nicely. That's another set of legs. So now we're ready for the next set, which is number 3. And that's this one. So let's get that prepared. Fold it over. Glue tabs out. Really straightforward. Putting tape on that. That's one. That's 2. All right, there you go. Going to do the same trick. So I close it, fold back the glue tabs, and use the print of glue point number 3 to align this. Again, make sure the corner is really into the center fold. So this corner aligns exactly with the center fold. I'm going to close it again. Firmly push, not too hard, not damaging the cover. And that's another set of legs. All right. Now let's prepare the head. We fold it like this. These go inside. Will look like this. Making sharp folds. All right. Adding some tape. I won't need much for these. Hold on a second. It's good enough for now. Okay. Well, I can do better, of course, but for the sake of the video, let's use this. Fold this over. Fold these back this time. All right. Now, this one too is really easy to attach. I prepared like this. I just fold it. And then I make sure this line, there's some tape sticking out, hold on, okay. This line here is parallel with the fold here. You can even put it higher or lower. Maybe experiment a little bit. That's up to you. Those are just mine, my proportions. So now, last step. Let's connect the last legs. Set of legs. I need 2 small triangles for this one. Also, when you're working with glue, make sure to put glue all over the tab. And don't spill anything. All right. Now there's tape on those glue tabs. And those are the last. I'm going to fold it shut like this. Again, align it with the artwork. Push it a little bit. Shift the card. And this should be our spider. Now there's a little bit of room to push down these glue tabs carefully without damaging the spider. But anyway, here you go. That's our spider. Now, if you're having trouble with these legs, sometimes these legs jam. You can bend them out a little bit. Maybe it's too heavy paper you're working with. That's also a possibility, but you can also make these legs a little bit shorter by cutting off little tips so it fits better. But anyway, there it is. So now you can make your own version of this spider. You can also trace these parts on colored paper. That's totally up to you. And you can make all kinds of weird stuff. Maybe use real artwork as a texture would be nice. So that's it, the pop-up spider. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you can make this now in color and scare your friends with a weird birthday card. I don't know, that would be nice. So yeah, there it is, our pop-up spider. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this video, and I hope to see you next time with a new tutorial. And also, when you're checking out my work, make sure to leave a comment or share it with your friends. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Bye.